Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Wow, this is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Class number 437. And our topic for today is It's Never Too Late to Be Great. I want to welcome our viewers on Instagram. Thank you so much for being with us. Our viewers on YouTube, thank you for being with us. And of course, our mastermind group on Zoom, the powerhouse group that will be discussing and sharing, perspectives and information about the message today. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, author of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. And I invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com. And I am what is called the What's Next strategist to help you figure out what's next in your life. So visit our website and book a complimentary What's Next strategy session. All right, before we get started, I'd like to get us centered so that we can be open and receptive to the message. So let's just sit straight up for a moment. Let's take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, we affirm, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Just let that peace sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly as we dwell in the space. And so it is. All right. You know, this topic, it's never too late to be great, is one that I've approached before, but it's one that keeps coming back at me. It keeps coming back because so many times we wonder, wow, suppose I'd started this project earlier. Maybe if I had made some different choices. And even there are times you may wonder, maybe my best days are behind me. And every now and then you'll say, I think I missed something that was really important in my life. And you know, that kind of mindset can really, really upset you and get you into, you might call it a blue funk. Because you start thinking about what you would have done or what you could have done or what you should have done. And all of that sucks up the energy, sucks up your time from today, which is something you can do a lot about. We can't change the past, but we can always create a new ending. And it always is determined by what we do right now, what we do from moment to moment. So our message today is, it's never too late to be great. Even if the things have not worked out for you, even if you've been stuck in the pig pen of life, even if you've had failure after failure after failure, still, your circumstances do not determine your potential, and it's never too late to be great. So whether you're 25, someone say, well, is this for old? No. Whether you're 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, or 85, you always have the great gift from God, the present. You always have this moment right now to make changes in your life. In our book, in the 12 Universal Laws of Success, the second law of success is the most powerful one. It says, be not conformed to this world, that whatever your situation is right now, whatever you're doing right now, whatever your relationships are, whatever your emotional state, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, you don't have to stay there. That you can transform your life by transforming and changing your thinking. Wow. That's a powerful piece, folks. And so let's look at this in this context of it's never too late to be great. Let's look at some points. Number one, greatness has no expiration date. In this culture, all geared with youth, one of the companies I'm involved with, we've had a product that really appeals to baby boomers and senior citizens and people who are at that stage in their lives where they want to live longer, where they want to, just extend the quality of their lives more. And yet the company wants to focus on the younger market. Now, I have no problems with the younger market, but I'm saying that everybody is important. And so there's this great, what do we call it? Everything is about the youth, the young CEOs, young athletes. I listened to him talk about LeBron James. LeBron is 41 now, and people telling him he should retire and whatnot. Hey, man, at 41, if you feel it, if your mind can permit you to operate on a high level, go for it. Don't let other people's limitations, other people's visions determine your potential. Colonel Sanders didn't. He started, Kentucky Fried Chicken at 65. Grandma Moses didn't even start painting until she was in her 70s. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in jail, and he takes over as president of his country at 75. Well, I guess in America, we've sort of blown through that one, haven't we? And even when you think back biblically, there's I like to bring in not some scriptural references, not from a religious point of view, but from a spiritual point of view. When we look back in the scripture at Abraham and Sarah were basically the mother of Isaac, and Isaac is the person out of which basically the entire Hebrew nation grew. But Abraham was 100 when he had his last child. Sarah was 90. So on a metaphysical or spiritual level, there's a message there that even age limitations can be manipulated based on your intention and your potential. In other words, the God mind, the universal consciousness knows no limitations. So if it's necessary to have a child at 100, it's possible. Wow. That's a great thought, folks, that nothing is impossible. Second key, that there are three negative thoughts, and I call them three lies that have always tried to bind us up and tie us down. And number one is that you're too old. You're too old to do this. Man, you should be slowing down. When I meet my contemporaries, when I passed 80, a lot of my contemporaries, we had a little birthday party, and they were like, well, man, it's time. You're going to slow down now? No. Why would I slow down? I'm feeling good. And at 80, I'd halfway figured it out. Okay. I've heard of people being a slow learner, but at 80, I was still learning. I had a lot to learn. At 82, I still got a lot to learn. And so that's a lie. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old. Then there's another lie they tell you. It's too hard. I say this compared to what? Struggle helps prepare you for the prize. If there's no struggle, chances are the prize isn't worth anything. And so this thought of it's too hard is really a flip it to the other switch, other side that says, if it's really hard, that means that the goal is really worth it. Can you imagine how hard it is to become a butterfly? After being a caterpillar all your life, you can only imagine the changes that have to take place to make that happen. Let me see. Someone needs to mute their line. Let's see if we can help them. Okay, thank you. And then there's one that I keep hearing now. It's too late, Doc. You shoulda, you coulda, you woulda, but too late for whom? God knows no time. In other words, there's only one time in the God mind, and that's now. And so if you're alive, it's never too late. If you're not alive, that's a whole nother question. But as long as you're alive, it's never too late. So the question then comes is, how do you know that it's your time to be great? How do you make that? How do you make that switch? How do you make that change and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to make a move. And there's some key points to that. Number one, you cannot ignore that call inside. I guarantee you that everyone who's on this call has something inside. The voice is telling them that you should be up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Those in California are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's a voice inside you saying, hey, you need to write that book. You need to tell your story. There's a voice inside says the challenges that you have faced in life are necessary to be shared with the world so that other people can learn how you did it. A vision keeps coming back. And I'll tell you my vision that keeps coming back. I've always been a musician. I was a songwriter. My first book was How to Make Money in Music. I wrote songs for other people, and I couldn't sing my own songs. I had a mindset that I couldn't sing. And everybody around me who heard me sing agreed. They're like, Herb, just write the songs, man. You can't sing. And listen, for over 60 years, that thought had me bound up. But the vision kept coming back. I always had this vision of mine sitting at a piano. I remember in New York, there was I think it was the Westchester Dinner Theater. And it was a theater in the round, and they had the stage in the middle, and the stage went around in a circle, and all the people are around the stage. And I remember seeing Barry White, and he had this beautiful white piano. And I always had that vision in my mind of sitting there at that white piano and playing and singing. So I ask you, what vision do you have? I'm acting on mine. I'm playing and singing. Next week, I'm performing in a variety show. You've been seeing me on my videos and whatnot. I made up my mind, and guess what? All of a sudden now I can sing. So I challenge you right now. Do you think it's time for you to be great? Yes, because there's that vision that keeps calling you to write that book, to make that journey, to go back to school, to learn something new, to do something different. That's your higher power, your higher self speaking to you. Point number 2, your dissatisfaction has got to be greater than your comfort. So when you look at your life right now, if you're not happy with where you are right now, then are you unhappy enough to change? You know the story. The dog sits on the nail, whimpering. The stranger sees the dog on the nail whimpering and asks the owner of the dog, why is the dog whimpering? He said, because the dog is in pain. So what's causing the pain? The dog is sitting on a nail. He said, well, why doesn't the dog get off the nail? The owner says, because it doesn't hurt badly enough. So I challenge you, are you sitting on a nail? Is there something in you, some dream in you, some vision of you that's saying, do it, go for it, and yet you want to stay comfortable? You want to keep on existing, keep on surviving instead of thriving. So I say, have you stopped growing? Have you become too comfortable? Don't you know there's something that you should be doing? Being alive right now. If you feel that unhappiness, that discomfort about where you are, that's a sign to change, to get off that nail and go for it. It's time for you to be great. Number 3, at this point in your life, you realize that your most important asset is time. That the fact that you're alive and well and know who you are means that there's an obligation. Now, you have been given this gift of time. Time is God's gift to you. What do you do with that time is your gift to God. And so at this moment, to make this agreement, that stop saying one day, I'll, someday I'll, and say today I begin. Today I make the switch. Today I sit down and I lay out my new book. Today I say, I'm going to enroll. I always wanted to get this degree. I didn't get it, and my life came at me. I got sidetracked. I did all right in life, but I still want that degree. Who cares if I'm 65 starting in college? That's all right. It's for me. Point 4, whatever you've gone through in life, and I guarantee you, many of us have gone through some stuff. We've had some challenges. We've had some victories, and we've had some cataclysmic defeats. But now let's flip the script. All of that is really now, those experiences become lessons in life. This greatness is not about talent. Greatness is about wisdom. So now all the struggles that you had, all the things you failed at, all the things that didn't work before now become lessons that you can share with somebody else so they don't have to go through the same stuff. Every disappointment now that you've had now becomes insight. You know, the more challenges you have, the better coach you are. Someone once said, I don't want a coach who's never played the game. I don't want a coach who's never failed. John Paul Getty used to say, J.P. Morgan, he used to say, he was like a huge financier, and he used to say that he didn't really give much credence to those people who were great successes and top of companies who'd never been knocked down, who'd never been torn down, who'd never been broke. He said he had a lot of success for a man who's flown high, crashed and burned, and then flown again. And so now all the things that have happened to you in the past now become a part of your repertoire to share with the world. You see, you possess something that the world needs. The young people can't get it. You possess experience. So that tells you it's time to go for it. And then finally, stop waiting for permission. Nobody has to give you permission to be great. You know, there are people who will criticize. Sometimes our sensitivity to critique creates this mindset that we need other people's approval to do what we want to do, to go for our dreams. We don't need other people's approval. You don't need permission to be great. You just do it. The fact that you're alive means that you have absolute permission to do it. But also the fact that you're alive means that there's an obligation for you to do it. The fact that you're at this point in time and space and have all the assets that you have means that you're obligated to be great. So if we look at those things, we say, if all these 5 things are happening, and I guarantee that many of you in your lives right now, you're going through 1, 2, 3, maybe 5, maybe you even have some new ones. But the point now is, how do I make the step? How do I actually take these steps now to convert this vision, this image, into a reality for me to live? How do I live my greatness? And this is the step-by-step method, folks, to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. I call it 4 steps to your greatness. Step 1, you got to make a decision. Everything in life is a result of decisions and actions. You have to choose to be great and then act on the choice. The word decision means like to cut away. So at this point in your life, you make that decision to be great and you say, now, no more excuses. No more procrastination. I can't put it off any longer. No more waiting for somebody else to tell me it's okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus on my vision. This vision that's been boiling up inside of me now, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it rise. I'm going to let it fly. The moment you make that decision, everything changes. You know, it's almost like you're on the highway of life. And you've been cruising along that highway for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, 80 years, however many years you've been on this journey. And that vision inside keeps saying to the right. That vision over there keeps getting clearer and clearer. And at some point on the highway of life, you have to stop and make that right turn. You know, the interesting thing about that is the moment you make that right turn towards your vision, you see a different view. You see a different perspective. Maybe as you were going down the highway was crowded. You were in a traffic jam. But the moment you made that right turn, all of a sudden it's clear sailing. The road less traveled. As a matter of fact, there's nobody on the road but you. The scenery is different. The trees are different. The hills, the dales, the mountains are different. The decision you make is critical because the moment you make that decision now, as you go on the new road of your life, the road to your greatness, you go for a new playground. You're going to do new things. You go for new playthings. You get away from, you know, at some point in life, so many of us are chasing things. We want accomplishments. We want notches on our belt. We want money in our bank account. We go from things to significance. Now on this road, let me do the things that are important, that are significant. We go from the success of the I to the success of the we. You go from significance to impact, significance to challenge, to change that you can bring about in other people. The second step is once you've made this decision now to prepare for the journey. And one of the interesting things you'll find is that you already have what you need to get there. You know, when you make that turn to go for yourself, to go for your greatness, every now and then you'll get that thought in your head, man, I should have done this before. If I had known how sweet this journey was, how beautiful the path, I could have done this 5 years ago. I could have written this book years ago. Man, I could have barely impact. Now, look at the switch. Instead of I could have made millions, I could have changed thousands of lives. I could have impacted a world of people if I'd written this book 5 years ago. When we wrote How to Make Money in Music, we were doing an interview, the Joe Franklin show in New York. And Joe Franklin asked me, I had a writing partner, Lucian. And he asked us, he said, you know, you guys have never really made any money, have you, in music? You've never made big money. We're like, no, we haven't. He says, well, then how are you qualified to write a book called How to Make Money in Music? And I said, we have experienced every possible way you could fail. We've been ripped off. We've missed deadlines. We've had groups break up. If you name it, it has happened to us. And so we're qualified to tell people how to make money because we know all the ways not to. So if we just tell you, don't go left, don't go right, don't do this, don't do that, you'll be fine. So start to prepare for your journey. Start to prepare for your greatness. Focus now on your vision, the vision that pulled you off to that right turn now. The more you focus on it, the more it grows. You know, the law of focus says whatever you focus on grows. So a vision that was just a heartbeat, was just a challenge, something you really wanted to do, but you weren't sure. Now that you made this decision, it's like one of those paint by numbers. The painting begins to fill in. The vision becomes clearer. Learn the skills. You know, right now everybody's talking about the AI. Well, as long as you call it the AI, you got a challenge. It's like my dad used to call it the microwave. No, you got to learn AI. AI can be a powerful tool. It's a terrible master, but it can be a powerful tool. So sharpen your tools, learn the things that you need to know now to get better. Now that you're focusing on your dream now gives you that power of priority. And now you make thoughts, you make emotions, you make habits, you build relationships that are congruent with the dream, with the new you, with the great you. And now you surround yourself with people who believe in you and uplift you and who can say, go for it. You can make it happen. Step 3, and this is the most powerful of all, take daily action. Success is not a big event. Significance is not a one-time happening. Success and significance are things that happen day by day by day. Even small steps matter. Read one chapter, and over time you will become an expert. Write one page, and over time you'll finish book after book after book. Make one phone call. That might be the one. You call that person and they're like, I was waiting for you to call. You can tell you're on the right path when you begin to experience, I like to call it synchronicity, where the stuff you were getting ready to do is getting ready for you, where the person you were getting ready to call calls you, where the things that you were thinking about, all of a sudden you see an email modifying and helping you get that thought to the next level. That synchronicity is amazing. That's a good sign. If you see that happening in your life, that's a sign from the universe that you're on the right path. Each action helps you build momentum. And the beauty of success and significance is that it comes about as a result of momentum. If you just take care of each day, each step, then the week is taken care of. If you take care of each week, then the month is taken care of. If you take care of each month, the year is taken care of. And so that movement into the greatness now, the greatness of significance and impact manifests quicker and quicker because your momentum grows. Your dream becomes so clear that it begins to pull you. It's like all of a sudden you've been pushing and all of a sudden you get to the top of the hill now, and that hill and now you're coasting and now you're speeding up because the dream is so magnetic, it's pulling you. They say, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The truth now is all these laws that help you magnify your dream so it makes you great. And then finally, step 4. Persist, to hang in there. That the moment you make that right turn and go on to this new direction, there will still be obstacles. There'll still be rain. All the things that happened on the main road of life happened on the other road, but now you have a different perspective. Now, when you see an obstacle, you don't see it as a wall, you see it as an opportunity to climb. Now, when you see something happening that's unexpected, that's, this is a nice opportunity to learn something new. When people disappoint you or when stuff doesn't go the way you thought it would, you go, I figured out another way that will not work. This idea of hanging in there, persistence, to show up day after day. The law of persistence says you already have everything you need to get anything you want. So therefore, whenever the Goliaths show up on your journey to your greatness, you have the stones that David had, and that you have the solid belief now in your vision. You have the slingshot that David has, and that you have the skill set that you have practiced, rehearsed, and perfected. So you just say, whenever that obstacle comes, you say, bring it on. I got this. And so this day, when we say, it's never too late to be great, let's recap everything. The fact that you're alive means you have the potential for greatness. The fact that you're alive means you have the obligation for greatness. That when you see this possibility, these potentials for you, the spiritual principle says, with God, all things are possible. Not the things that we think are possible. Someone once said, miracles are everywhere. You just have to learn how to see them. And so now with this new mindset, all things are possible. So you can now look at those signals that you're in the right place at the right time. So now when you feel that the vision coming on, you can say, aha, I embrace it. When you feel that discomfort about where you're at right now, you're like, okay, I'm going to change it. When you look at time as a great gift to you, an obligation to do better and to do more, you say, that's for me. When you look at your experience and all those negative experiences and disappointments now as preparations, dress rehearsal for your greatness. And when you stop waiting for somebody else, you can clearly hit the path and hit those 4 steps to greatness, that you can make the decision to make that right turn to go for it. That you can prepare, you can do all the things necessary to embrace the dream, to embrace the vision. That you can commit to daily action, small steps bring about great results. And that you can hang in there, doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes to bring about the results that you desire. So your greatness is always just above the hill. You have to rise a little bit to get there. Your greatness is always waiting there for you. But as you approach it, it keeps moving and getting bigger because it draws you to you. Your vision, the scripture says, write the vision, make it plain. So describe your greatness. It says, though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. The greatness that you see for yourself has a cycle of its own, but you have the ability to hang in there. The scripture says, though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. Your greatness is waiting for you. All you have to do is decide to go for it, prepare for the journey, work at it each and every day, and hang in there until you win. And you can truly be what you want to be. Do what you want to do and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Wow. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out slowly. Those of you on Instagram, thank you so much. Share this broadcast with at least 3 other people. Those on YouTube, do the same. Like it, share it, make some comments, and write on there how you're putting this message into work, how you're taking these principles and making them work for you. As you begin to do that, you'll see your greatness coming to you greater and greater, faster and faster. As they say, it will come to you. You won't hardly be able to contain all the goodness that's coming to you as your greatness comes to you. So this is Dr. Herbert Harris. This is your What's Next strategy guide coach. I invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com. Schedule a What's Next strategy session, complimentary. Go to our website and look at some of our books, the 12 Universal Laws of Success, the Life Lessons, all the other books that are designed to help you be more, do more, become more effective, and to achieve and live your dreams exactly the way you want to. And together we say, the best is yet to come.